Good afternoon. So, I never had in the birthday. I mean, there's his own birthday. Return birthday, like the West. You know, when the West is very important for anybody birthday. Or small babies and 200 years old birthday, and then 1 year old baby birthdays are very, very important and birthday present. Birthday present. This is one of the discussing with my family, sister, our families. They figured out which day I was born. But they didn't figure out which day I die, which day I will die. There's one Christian monastery from Spain. You go to on the way to Italy. So you go around that big trees. Go around, and when you see the monastery, it's like the feeling is like Tibet monastery. Just monastery alone. There's no village. So backside there's a mountain. So it's like, very much like Tibet, thing like that. And that monastery, when the monk dies, they do big celebration. That's I think what it means is, I think, I don't know that the monastery, Christian monastery, whether they do big celebration or not. But that monastery, why they do biggest party, I think biggest party on that, when the monk, if a monk died on that day. I think the reason is because the monk is going to heaven. You see, the ideas, believe ideas go to heaven, so they are making big party, and then this was celebration. You see, huge, quite large, quite a huge monastery, and outside there's a monk with white beards like this, long, very big white beard, and he was a gate monk, and so we went inside and saw the abbot, and the Lama was there. Lama was there. So show us monks' rooms. So monks were not allowed to go outside. It's very strict in that way. I don't know, see, strictness with the body, strict to the body, to the mind, to the speech, to the mind. So I guess, as far as the body is, you can't go outside. In the past, I don't know how many hundred years the monastery established, but the monks cannot go outside at all. But recently, they had a meeting, big meeting, the abbots of the different monasteries, they had a big meeting, and so they decided the monks are able to go outside for a walk. I don't know, not very far. I don't know, 1 mile or half mile or something. So they come back. But I think I saw some monks walking outside. Their production, the oil, oil, I think. Oil produced from that is, I don't know, there's some particular famous, I'm not sure, some true monk working outside in the field. Anyway, that monk dies, and the body is buried inside the monastery, not outside. So there were only 4 or 5 bodies were buried inside. So I don't know. Maybe it happened. I don't know. Maybe not so long ago. Since the monastery blew, I'm not sure. I'm sure it must be more than 100. So this is a light spot. In the very location is very good. You don't see the monastery, the trees in the road. So then when you arrive near there, then you see the monastery. There you see the monastery. So the monks have room, balcony, we call yap. So, yeah, the monks has so see to spend time. But it was very boring. So what do you do? No, you can't do meditation all day long. And I don't know also what to meditate. That's one question. What to meditate, and what is what to meditate? What to meditate is one thing. But again, the question is, what is worthwhile not? You see, it's a big question. Otherwise, you waste all your whole life. You may be doing commentation, kaka. One in who was staying before we came to Kopan. Who was staying in Bauta. In Bauta, Jini Lama's son's house. Two sons, 3 or 2 sons. So one owned the house near the road, car road. It's about the Stuba car road. So somewhere there. I was a double bazaar outside. We stayed also there, lived for years before coming to Kopan. And then there's a murder monastery. So somewhere there, not there in the road, but somewhere more inside. Another greenhouse, painting belonged to his son. Jin Lama, I think maybe it's Chinese, but he was sent by, I found out later, many years after, he was sent by the Tibetan government. Many years ago, I don't know, maybe more than 50 years, so long time ago, sent by Tibetan government to take care of the Buddha stupa. To take care of the Buddha stupa. So officially sent. So I lived there, and so it's a big, I think, a family. So when we were staying there, there was a French doctor. French doctor. he French doctor. One of our members in the house. There was Zina, the Russian lady, first student. She became nun, then passed away on the mountain, Himalaya mountain there. At the Refuge, which is a monastery. Refuge was a monastery. So Lama gave commitment, huge number of recitation mantra, Yamantaka, and then Shitra Bhajayukini. So later I was in Solokhumbu on the mountain. Whether I don't remember past life. Myself, that was my past life. I have no memory. Did some examination by the people. We have very much the examination in the Himalaya, the area Solokhumbu examination of child, whether this incarnation with the Lama, not but through materials. And we have very much of that. Not just only Lamas, high Lamas, making decision or they make observation, not on that. But we do the prove, child, with the child, we do much of that. The religious objects. I was done when I was a small child, staying with mother at home. So the past life, son, I think it's for son. So the Karma, his name is Karma Tenzin. He came with the, religious objects, when the cups, minerals with malas and bells belonged to Laudo. They were supposed to my past life lived, and cave that or the different religious objects he used, and also other monasteries. So we spread on the table. And that time there was only my mother on the house. So I thought I didn't do, but they said I did. But I remember I didn't do at all. I didn't recognize. I couldn't recognize. I didn't do. And then I was taken up. I was taken up by somebody's shoulder to the monastery, and there was a big puja in the Tame monastery. The village where I was born is called Tame. And then brought up on the shoulder. That on Tame monastery, the compound is full of monks, and so monks also. Yeah, I don't know if it's not possible. The Ben Lama was a very good Lama. The founder of the monastery, the one white beard, this much, and very good hearted Lama. that's a retreat, meditation, and that retreat and does initiation through the students and time and like that. So he was sitting on throne, and the many doing puja, very big puja. So I was put on the lap. One very good monk lived close to Lhasa. Lived close to Lhasa. So one cave other lived there. The was a very good monk, pure or has a even good morality. So I was put on his lap behind this Buddha statue. Then piles of symbols, religious symbols piled up. And he asked me, which is your symbol? Then I pointed this way. I remember this way. I pointed. Then he said it was correct. And then he put the symbol like this. Then he asked me again, which was my symbol, Mr. Lauda's symbol. So I pointed somewhere like that, and he said that was correct. That was the main thing. That I did, but at home I didn't do. But some people said they did. I don't think so. So anyway, so my own yes. I don't. Many others they remember their past lives and they, the monastery and many things like that. So my own belief is that when I do meditation, not that I have realization, not that. When I meditate, then certain experience or certain way of thinking it comes. So I thought that as my proof that there was past life and did meditation in the past, so like that. So there's my own proof. Not that I can remember my that Lama who married Lama, is in Ngakpa, not married Lama, not monk. He came from Tibet and with the Rinpoche, one good Lama, and then knowledgeable Lama. Then from Tibet, across the mountains, came together, friends, and he lived, also said my past life, he lived there, 30, 40 years, a long time, and with so much knee pain. So I guess maybe there was not easy to see doctors and not Western, but Tibetan, I'm not sure the doctors there not. So in those times maybe difficult, so much pain, knee, and just leave the cave, do retreat and give initiation sometimes. So people say, other lamas, they say, they think Rinpoche Lama or the other lamas, those who knew, they said they're good meditator. I have no idea. So they're good practitioner. I think Dojun Chokshis, small desire, content mind, satisfied content mind. Well, that's the basic practice, basic spiritual practice, Dharma practice. The renunciation. So renunciation is the best practice. Renunciation to this life and the basic practice. Then, that becomes basis for renunciation of the future life samsara, then bodhicitta. So that will cause that which becomes the actions become cause of enlargement done with bodhicitta. So the cause of happiness of all the sentient beings, temporary, ultimate. That's also but of course, my mother, who has much more, many times, my compassion is there's other example. Like the tamba, tamba flower from Bali or wheat is a flower. You put on the water, river, ocean, then stays on top, doesn't go in deep. It stays on the surface of the water, like that. Yes or no, yes or no. So hardly anything. But my mother has 100 times much more the compassion. But she can read books. She can't read Ga Ga Kanga, Ja Ja Tanya, Ta Ta Tana, the Tibetan alphabet. She doesn't know. But compassion, she has many 100 times greater than me. I read as I know a few words. Some words of Lamrim, I teach few words. I, a little bit familiar, a little bit, then I talk to the people. So she has not studied. She has not studied. Not studied. She doesn't know. She can read text. But in the past, before I was born or something, then she used to go to Tibet with the father behind the Mount Everest and go for teachings. Deputy Truchi Rinpoche is head Lama Nyingma. Deputy Truchi Rinpoche, his root guru behind the Mount Everest, there's a monastery. His name is Rumbustangje. So they go for teachings there in Tibet. And then with so much faith. And when the Lama explained text about path to enlightenment, about the suffering, no way to understand for them. like my mother, many people who don't know. I mean, who can read, who don't know. So just come there for faith. And if they listen, of course, then lives makes great preparation in the mind for enlightenment. To achieve elimination of obscuration, completion of all the realizations. So Sangye, so the unbelievable preparation, if they listen, the purpose to achieve the full enlightenment, not just to be free from oceans of samsara suffering. So that, but if they don't listen, if they sleep like that, if they don't listen, then nothing. My mother, when the Lama gives teaching, from the text explain, and then only the monks or only those who can read, only those who maybe who have liberal education, maybe they understand, maybe they, so means I think little number, so I think like that. So anyway, my mother, then the Lama gives advice between that, some simple advice. When you recite mantra, you don't pass 2 beats, 1 beat, not past one omane peme hum, then omane peme hum. But I know Indian people, they recite omane peme hum. But there are 2, 3 supposed to expert monk in Sanskrit, Tibetan monk in Sanskrit, in the Varanasi, in Sarnath. 2, 3 monks who are expert in Sanskrit. I checked them. The Indian people recite. I know some student, they recite whom. So I asked him what's the correct way in Sanskrit. He says whom. He says 0. I mean, not all the zeros, whom, but there's a whom, was a ma, some depending context. So the 0 around and like that. So that's because that whom he says like that. But they hear 2, 3 months also good in Sanskrit, and they are given by his own Jalama job to translate from Tibetan into Sanskrit. Originally Buddha taught in Sanskrit. I mean, in Pali, the Sanskrit, the those Mahayana teachings, Sanskrit into Sanskrit, or taught Sanskrit. And then later, then those great holy beings, Pandits of those great holy beings translated into Tibetan language. Very meaningful. So meaningful. Very rich. Few words, but it holds the meaning. It holds the meaning. Few words, but it holds the meaning, so that by learning the meaning of those words, 2, 3 words, but you can get a general idea of the meaning. So it's like that. It's a perfect translation. Gives great understanding. Though those great translators are holy beings. Those Bodhisattvas, some of the great holy beings. And now, not like present English translators. I don't mean everything is ordinary, but I'm not saying that. But it's difficult to say everyone is holy being. Bodhisattva. So all those Indian translators are Indian Pandits. Great, they have great education, knowledge, like that. Fantastic. So learning Tibetan has great. So because of the subject came, so learning Tibetan. I don't think not so much political work without knowing the language, the letters, but to make money or political work or not. They can't do much, but for yourself and to benefit others, then it's very useful. I think it's very useful. Of course, nowadays there's so many. First thing, His Holiness teaching on Tantra and Sutra. So many and well translated, and so many. All of that then from other sector. But with learning Tibetan gives vast understanding, correct understanding. When the Lama speaks, who doesn't speak English, so speaks, gives teaching, you understand, able to translate. Also, you can read. It's like opened eye. It's like opened third eye, open eye, Tibetan letters, other text. So all the amazing on the Sutra and Tantra, the Hinayana teachings, and then Paramedana teachings, Mahayana Sutra, Paramedana teachings, Mahayana Tantra. So amazing, and the folk class Tantra, amazing. So vast, amazing. So many commentaries, those many enlightened meditators, Tibetan meditators, or the enlightened complete part from the fourth sector. Amazing. So you have you have an eye to see all those. So you have great opportunity. All of that. So it gives so much freedom to yourself to learn Dharma or to improve. That is one thing. And the other thing is also you can translate from Tibet into English or whatever the other language. So like that. So there's many ways you can help like that. And of course, because translator is one big problem we have. Before we look, sorry, my topic longer and longer. Like the Kaza. I forget the name. What do you call the sweet that you eat? There you can blow pop. Huh? What? Bubble gum, yeah. In Singapore, not allowed. If you drop that, then you will be put in prison. Huh? What?
I think they changed again.
Now they change. So what is it called? Chewing gum. That's chewing gum. Gets longer. So, So, what is that? Sorry. So now I'm telling my mother, so that also helps for understanding reincarnation, a subject about reincarnation, continue to the mind. Even the separate from body, but mind continues, so it helps for that. That's not ancient story, it's a recent story. So, my mother, so that so she even she go to where the big store, and she goes by car, then she see the people, Nepalese people walking without shoes in the road. She's kind of so concerned. They have no shoes, and they're walking with the naked feet, in the road. She's very concerned, and like that. What is it? I talk compassion in a word because I read, just a little bit, Then, as I told a little bit, talk about compassion. But actually, she has many hundred times much more compassion, and also compassionate act. So that's also when when they go for pilgrimage, so many Sherpa people go for pilgrimage. So in the road, they have to stop. One family makes fire, put there. One family makes fire, put here. So like that in the road. So my mother makes food, then give everybody, finish. No food for the family. At the end, no food for the family. All the food is given to other people. My brother, the younger brother, who was born after me, he lives there. Chhatrapati was there after the river. So he brings money, go for trekking and outside, bring money to home. Then my mother's give to people. So maybe he gets angry. I'm not sure. Also like that, people who come to home. Always give food, tea or food. Always give food, like that. So anyway, even Dharmasala, she came one time Dharmasala to Tishita. Where the meditation center is. So morning she had breakfast, pancake. So cut half and half she eat, half she put in here, and then go outside. There are beggars on the way to his own temple. Go around, there are beggars. So she give it to them. You can't see how many beggars, but probably she gives the first beggar that she meets. I think probably maybe like that. So every morning she does like that. she eats then give the collection go to the back when she goes around his son's palace. So anyway, what happened was we didn't know, but I think it might be cancer. When she died, I think it might be cancer. afterwards thinking, so when she passed away, Sanat, Varanasi, Sanat, where Buddha turned the first rule, Dharma, the Four Noble Truths subject, the Hindu teaching. So when His Holiness was giving Kavacha initiation, I think that our organization requested and gave the Kavacha initiation. So she brought to see His Holiness, but I think her eyes closed. So His Holiness came to, she was outside and sitting on a chair. His Holiness came out, but I'm not sure what I don't think she's seen His Holiness, I'm not sure. Her eyes closed. And that night, 1 or 2 o'clock, something, so she passed away. I was in the hotel. We were nice in the hotel, so one nighttime, one day. So she, when she passed away, there was my brother's wife's brother, or two or three months from Tantra College. They memorized by heart Guya Samaja, the main deity, the Tantra College, or the Lama Zopa, the Guya Samaja, the Father Tantra. So they root text, they memorized and they chant by heart. So in Tantra College, when a monk dies, you just recite that's finished. So not many other things. That helps that protect, saves the consciousness to not be upon lordoms and higher births and so on. So they were chanting very beautifully. Next to Mata, so one day to pray. So anyway, so yeah, maybe tea time. Yeah, thank you. Jungo Jodze Jebe So the incarnation was born very close to Lauto. I think maybe there's 1 mile, maybe a little bit more than 1 mile or 2 miles. I'm not sure. Ganupa, there's one other hermitage. So Ganupa, she not a great I forgot the name. Great, I think it's about a word. Probably great yogi achieved enlightenment. Something I forgot the name. So there's still the rocks there where you sit and then all that. So the Ganuba, probably maybe the lineage from that family. I think maybe great yogis that start there. So there's one Lama there, one married Lama, and then his son got my mother's received my mother's incarnation. I mean, born to him, born to in his wife. So I think the baby has been talking about Lauto for a long time, but Lauto, my sister, they didn't know for a long time. The family haven't told, and so like that. Then my sister came to see something to bring some tourism. Then over kata to the incarnation. Then the incarnation never wanted to take it out kata. The scarf, white scarf, want to wear for 7. He wanted to every night time go to bed. He wear the scarf, and 7 days he put on his neck every night time. So that anyway, then just to make it short. Remembers the animals. My mother really take care of the animals. The hard work. So winter time, in the summer. So I have to collect the leaves from the forest, dry leaves, from the forest. You bring up, very high up. You bring, then you lay down in the animal room, so keep warm with the animals when they lay down. So many things, a lot of work. My mother took care. Didn't want to sell the animals to the other people. Then the other people, butchers and the other people. Then other people sell to the butchers and they get killed. And so my mother never want to sell other people. So capturing. So animal increased more and more. So that. So the incarnation happened a long time ago. Then my brother and my mother's best friend, Angpua, lived in Kathmandu, and they went. Their mother's incarnation waiting for a long time. Then they went up. Then they did Karsa. They called the people and they invite the incarnation at Laudo Gomba, the meditation hall, the puja hall. He invited, they do a celebration, inviting the incarnation. So people offered a scarf to him, and he offered a scarf back to people. Only 2 people he didn't give. He didn't give a scarf. That's so somebody there went from here, manga, from here. So I've been living there for a long time. So long time. Just didn't get a seat in the flight when we were coming out. We were coming from Lukla to Kathmandu, so we didn't get a seat. So that's how it happened. Then God just happened staying there. So the other one, incarnations, his own father. I didn't have that. The stories I'm telling is because to understand reincarnation, the experience of that. So to help that, I'm just telling these stories. The reason I think he didn't give a scarf to his father was before my mother's time. When there were a small number of people, it's okay. With the water nearby, the water stream, that's okay, enough. But when there's more people, like pujas or nyungnes or there are more people, then not enough. So we have to get water from there. So we got, when I was there many years ago, got some rubber pipes from other mountains. So we got water from that Ganuba, the other place, cemetery. From that water, put the pipes to bring this side of the mountain. So where the Western person who come to Lama, so they can have shower, wash, water coming through the pipe from that hermitage. So what happened was, I think he blocked the father. No, I mean that time not father, but I think bring water from through the pipe. But I think father put the dust, sand or dust inside the pipe, so blocked water. So my mother got upset. So that was because that reason what happened in past life. So he didn't give the incarnation because the consciousness, imprinted like that. So because that didn't give the kata to him. Then the monk who went from here didn't get kata because I remember my mother was telling me in the cave, in a very without making noise, There was nobody in the cave. But she was so, that she was so angry. So angry. She was speaking me in the ear, in the ear, without making noise. There was nobody in the cave. So like that. So the incarnation didn't do like that. Anyway, and then animals, all the animals, and then you see, you remember also really care so much. And then in the kitchen, each time he comes to Lado, he look for mother's things, and he look. And they easily find in things in the kitchen. He does like that. So he knew it's there. He looked for that. And then every time there was prayer bowl. That time the Lama Pasang, the Lama is disabled from Baksa. So he met in prayer bowl, met wrapped with white cloth. So my mother turned that money payment. So always he liked very much prayer bowl. He gave over kata and the scarf. Then he grabbed the prayer bowl all the time like that. And so when he came to the Gomba, he did exactly the same as my mother used to do. My mother going to Gomba, first he's on the Lama's throne. The throne carved, they're famous by the carpenter, the Solo carpenter. The throne, the table is carved. So she goes to take blessing from his own throne. She bent her head there, throne. Then next day, where you sit in the puja or something, so there was one small throne, kind of so she she bent her head there. Then she go up there at the altar. She bent. Then she go around 7 times with the gomba. So with the puja, or so the incarnation is exactly the same. Like that. So nobody explained, that. And then, so the Angpura went to Incarnation's, the hermitage, the Incarnation's house. So as soon as he sit down, mother, Incarnation mother, pouring, I don't know, tea or wine, I'm not sure, pouring. Then the Incarnation mentioned his name, Angpura. Angpura, please. Then the best friend, my mother's brother, but he was a very kind person for the village, the town, in the village. He was a very kind person to all other people. So I think so the Incarnation knew his name, knew him. So Emperor, please. Then he grabbed the Incarnation, and then the Emperor himself then cried. Like that, he couldn't control his mind. He cried, made him cry because Incarnation can remember him. Like that. And the other thing is my sister. My mother in the past, I think one shirt, one old shirt, the plastic buttons. So she took it out and put it in the jar, in the bottle jar. She collected and I put there. So in the Solo Kumbu, when I was there, when I was very small, around that time, very rare as a spoon. You can't get a spoon there, so you have to, for many days walking, then you can get a spoon like that. So the spoons was very precious in my country, very precious also. Or some people wear spoons or some, the needles, things like that. You can't get in the village. You can't get. Many days you have to go. Then you can get needle things like that. So the plastic bottles, those they can't get there. So it's very precious in the old time. So my mother, like the old time, she kept in the bottle. So what happened? My sister made a shirt for the incarnation. Then she used the button from the bottle, which my mother called it. She made a button. So when she was putting the skirt, not skirt, skirt, upper skirt, and so put the incarnation. Incarnation. Oh, these are my buttons. She said, "Oh, these are my buttons." Could recognize. And then, even here she spent 3 months. Probably that was the last time, I think. She died in summer. So they, the leader of the nunnery, Anichansam, and so the two nuns who came here before all the other nuns, long time ago, Kopan. So there were 3 nuns, and China, and the 3 of them. So anyway, so she spent 3 months here, going around the stupa. Then the 2 nuns took care of her, helped her to go around the stupa, all that. So the incarnation came back, could recognize 2 nuns, but other nuns feel shy, like that. So all the family, the incarnation recognize. It doesn't feel shy, all the family. But the outside people, they show are feeling shy, all that. So that is the incarnation is such wonderful child. Such a wonderful child. I think it was in the hand of very good teacher, who can guide, Very good teacher will be excellent, Lama, will be really good, living in morality and able to benefit the world and can become very good Lama. But unfortunately, that due to parents and they threw their way. And my idea is first educate here, Kopan, learn the philosophy, Buddhist philosophy. Those teaching, Buddha teaching, the Pandit Nagarjuna Asanga, so all those from Narendra, to those great Pandits, they commentary, they teaching, and the Lama Zopa teaching, so forth. Learn the philosophy here. Then later, when you do the practice, when you give teaching to others, when you do it at that time, whichever sect, Nyingma, Satya, Ketu, Kelu, whichever sect, you have choice. You have choice, and you can do that. You can be, or non-sectarian, you give teaching to others, you practice and give teaching to others. So later you are free. You can do what you like. But first you learn the basic Buddhism, philosophy. The basic of Lamrim, the philosophy. Learn here. That was my idea. But unfortunately, the parents are, so when they follow the different sects, and so not Lama Zopa's tradition. So they asked to somebody, and they said, the South India, this Peyuchuku's monastery, many Nyingma monastery nowadays. I don't know in the past, but nowadays many Nyingma monastery. From there, monks get educated there. When they finish the education, then they sent around the world to become the abbot for the different monasteries in the west or in the east, to be the abbot and to guide the monastery to educate, which is very, very good project to preserve, to develop Nyingma teaching. So it's very good. So anyway, that person who made observations said that monastery sent there, but also maybe according to the wishes of parents, maybe possible. We agreed him to come here to study. But then after 1 year was black year, so didn't send. After 1 year, sent here, going to send here, but then in the time didn't send. Send to other monasteries. Asked me later to show the head of the Lama to take care my mother's incarnation. So I did write a letter. But anyway, after 15 days, he was playing outside, and then he fell down his head on the corner of the step of the house. They broke the bones, and then I think they took the small hospital at the beginning, and then they didn't have. Then went to the bigger hospital, something like that. Then they didn't want to listen to me, and they're waiting for the High Lama to come and all that. So I was kind of got upset, and so then finally his fever is not always his high fever, and so came here, and then doctors, no doctors accept to operate. So only my brother's wife, friend, doctor, finally accepted and operated, and few days got better, they passed away. So we inaugurated here, Kopan inaugurated here, Kopan. So that time, doesn't matter whatever he says. His speech is so interesting. I can't wait to hear the next. Whatever he says doesn't matter. Subject is not subject. It's his speech. He's talking just not doesn't matter subject, not subject, but it's so soothing. It's so interesting. The speech, the power of the speech, And then I want to hear the next, the next, so like that. That was my experience. So she recites why she is such a without debate, what is wrong or right. Just from her child, from the side of childhood, from the side of the child, so clear. This is my mother's incarnation. Very clearly can remember so many things. So then of course, Tabje Chuji Rinpoche did observation, and they said, this is my mother's reincarnation. So anyway, so she used to recite, she told me, when she was here, Kopan, upstairs, she told me that she used to recite Omane Peme 50,000 times a day. This is every day. Before, she used to recite 50,000 times. Every day she used to recite Omane Peme 50,000. So half of the 100,000. So she said now she can recite, but before she used to recite 50,000 times Omane Peme. So that's all that memory. Memory, all these, clairvoyance, or they heard, all that You know, for example, the table, you know, that the Omani Bema Hung, even one time reciting as a merit, like skies of merit, it is mentioned so much in the benefits. Even recite Omani Bema one time, skies of merit, you correct. You know, even though drops of ocean is not enough. Even the earth, you know, you make even the earth, you can count, send grants, whatever, not enough. The benefits of Omani Bema is much, so much. So for example, so this how many atoms this table has? So much it has, you see. So I'm just giving an idea. So there's so how clear memory, remembering many things in the past life. Or that small part of the table, like a small part of the table, or this very small part of the table, like that. So still the rest atoms of the table, all like that. So Mani Bema reciting. Oh, then of course, you know, then result in life for total cessation of obscuration, completion of all the realizations. For result, then free the numberless sentient beings from oceans of samsara and suffering, and bring them to the state of omniscience, full enlightenment. So it's all the then causes all the realizations to achieve. So it is all that. So what she can do, what she can remember, the clairvoyance or clear memory she has, is just a very small part of the table, like that. The benefits from reciting Omani Bema Hung. So, what is that? So relating the recent, I mean, not talking ancient story, but one thing is not talking. I'm not talking ancient story, but you know, quite recent, you know, story, all of that. Then concerning so yeah, they found out this is my birthday, so they want to offer mandala and long life prayer. that was the reason. But you know, I can't benefit much through the sentient beings. I can't benefit much through the sentient beings. You know, yeah. So. hardly benefited for the sentient beings. So that. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Then just before the room, I brought it a few days ago. I brought this text a few days ago. Okay. Yeah. Just brief, okay? Yeah. So just Sangye Chodang, Soge Chonam La, Chanjo Pado Dan, so you've gone through the subject refuge, yeah? They've gone through the subject refuge. Okay? You've gone through the subject refuge before I came. And so Sangye Choda, Soge Chonam La, I go for refuge to Buddha Dharma and sublime sublime among the assemblies. That contains the cause refuge. Cause refuge. And the next word, intellectual enlightenment, or the ultimate happiness, or state of omniscience, or that result refuge. That contains result refuge. Refuge is cause refuge and result refuge. That. So like this, if you want to become a wise professor, then you have to rely on a teacher, the wise professor. So then you can become a wise professor. 뒤에 가서 지지를. Thank you very much. Want to speak English?
Anuradha.
She's awarded as a CNN of the CNN Hero Award.
Thank you very much. It's very, very kind. Very, very kind to help the world, to help Nepal. There's a purpose of
25,000
girls.
That's the purpose of our life, to benefit others. Purpose of our life, to benefit others.
Yes.
Yeah. So this great. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kung?
Yeah, I also work with her. It's the same organization.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So by relying upon a wise professor, then you can become a wise professor, or physician, doctor. By relying on a wise one, then you can become a wise physician, doctor. So so like that. So relying upon wise physician, doctor, or wise professor, or anything. So whatever you want to become. So there depends on the wise teacher. So you can become like that. So that is relying on others. So similar here. So you rely on separate mind. Rely on Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. So separate mind. You rely on them, so that by relying upon them, so you actualize Dharma within you. You learn the Tipitaka, so the text, then also they have a realization of the particular, the wisdom, ultimate wisdom, directly perceiving emptiness. So that's what the seed is, the seed of delusion and karma. The cause of samsara is a cause of oceans of samsara suffering, including sickness of pain, rebirth, suffering rebirth, suffering sicknesses, suffering old age, suffering death. Then suffering cancer, suffering all the things, oceans of samsara sufferings. The cause is not outside. The cause is one's own mind, the impure mind, wrong concept, and the delusion, and it's the action, the karma. So you need wisdom, not only wisdom of seeing emptiness, but directly perceiving wisdom, ultimately wisdom directly perceiving emptiness, which sees the delusion and karma. So through that, then you can be free from oceans of samsara sufferings. So you can be free from death, suffering death, suffering old age, suffering sickness, suffering old age in the West. So in the West, I forgot the name. He died. The famous actor. The young one. Young. He died. Yeah, the actor. The one who has a very special dancing. Michael Jackson. Puji Pala. Yeah. So Michael Jackson, you see how many times he changed his face? Operated, and how many times operated his face, changed his face again. I don't know from old age or not. There's fixing from the changing from the old age, appearance of old age. I'm not sure. So many times. So in the West, you go to, if you don't like your face, you go to not hospital. Plastic surgeon, then you change. Well, you change many parts of your body. So in the West, again it looks getting older, worse and ugly. Then you go again plastic. What do you call plastic? Surgery. Plastic surgery. Yeah, you change again. So I'm sure that costs a lot. Life is a very short time. It's not for many hundred years can live. So not even 100 years, less and less. There may be still some, but less all the time. So life is very short. So you make huge expenses. So you make huge expenses. Because if you think, I don't know, if you think with compassion, those people who join plastic surgery, plastic surgery, or they need money, they need job, they need money, so of course you go to that. That's a different reason. But with compassion for them, to find job and to get money for them. But I don't know how many people think. Life is in the West, life is so unnecessary. So the very short life, very short. The reality, very short life. So much debts, build up debts, and the money that you worked so hard with, so much hardships. You worked so hard, collect money, so spend. So anyway, so much. I'd say meaningless. So much wasted. So much. There are so many. There are so many people dying, homeless, no food, sickness. So in Africa, the Ebola, many people, thousand people dying every day. There's so much. Besides using for, holy object, but that's just ordinary sentient beings. There's so much dying, so much suffering. So there's so much to help. If you have money, so much help. That's much more bigger mountains of problem than others. You don't have others. So much you can help. So no thought of that. And many people, some people have many. So anyway, in the world, there's so much to help, so much need help. Others need. So you need to collect merit, and you need to make your life meaningful. So that is that you don't know what is the meaning of life. To make your life meaningful, you don't know what is the meaning of life. So many people commit suicide. It doesn't know the meaning of life. So doesn't know the meaning of life. Then so many people come. That is the purpose of living. There's so many people commit suicide. So that. They don't know reincarnation, karma, past life. As past life, future life, then so easily. No space mind, because of completely like mountain crash. The problem, mind-made problem. I said, so mind is no space. So other than community size, nothing else. So that's so it's very, very sad. So sad after so many lifetimes made prayer to be born human being and practice some pure morality many lifetimes to receive this human rebirth. You got this, then because I haven't met Dharma, or do not know Dharma, then you don't know the meaning of life, how to live the life, you don't know. So completely ignorant, like no sun, no light, totally dark. So mind is like that. So this life is totally wasted. So like that. Like that. So therefore, you are coming here upon this time, attending course. So able to hear these teachings, Buddha, able to hear the teachings of Buddha. So fortunate, unbelievable, most unbelievable fortunate. should realize that. Think of the West, people's life, then think of your life here. What changed? What you learned? What you discovered? Now so much freedom you have. How you're going to live your life? You have so much freedom. Not before you didn't have freedom. Now you have so much freedom. How you going to live the life? Not only benefiting to you, but especially benefiting numberless sentient beings. How to benefit to numberless sentient beings. Yeah. So through the understanding of Dharma, through the Dharma practice, through transformation of mind, through the Kasa, cradle devoting virtue friend, and the renunciation, total inner happiness, peace, satisfaction, the renunciation. Then bodhicitta, the emptiness, without struggling, tantra. So that's amazing. How you can not only struggling yourself, but benefiting your life, this in a small body, this human being, this, how to benefit numberless sentient beings, numberless helplings, numberless human beings, numberless sura beings, asura beings, intermediate stage beings. So all that, try to benefit. Wow. It's amazing to change your life. Amazing. So anyway, so now, so this first one, I go for Refuge, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, that's called Refuge, and then until I achieve enlightenment, it's the result of Refuge. So then, you actualize Dharma, then you become a Sangha. Then through that, by completing the Dharma, by ceasing the obscuration, completing the realization, then you become Buddha. Then you become Buddha. Sangye, the being who totally ceased all the obscuration, completed all the realization. Then has not only omniscience, you have a perfect power to guide. You have perfect power to guide numberless human beings, numberless helpings, numberless hungry gods, numberless animals, numberless human beings, numberless sentient beings. You have perfect power to guide. Then you have infinite compassion to the numberless, to every sentient being. Like that. So you have this quality, perfect qualities. Without the slightest mistakes, then able to guide numberless sentient beings from the oceans of samsara suffering. Not only the lower realm, from oceans of samsara suffering to bring the enlightenment. All like that. So the Buddha, conventional Buddha and absolute Buddha is Buddha's form and Dhammakaya. The conventional, I don't know exactly the English word, conventional Buddha is the Buddha's holy body, the Rupakaya, or the Sambodhikaya, Nimanakaya, all those things, manifestations. All those are conventional Buddha, Dharma, then going for Refuge both, Then the Refuge, Dharma is absolute Dharma, convention Dharma, absolute Dharma, the total cessation of the obscuration, total cessation of the disturbing thought attitude, disturbing, obscuring thought. Not only that, even the subtle obscurations. Total cessation of that, and then the wisdom, ultimate wisdom, directly perceiving emptiness. So this absolute Dharma, commitment Dharma is Tripitaka, the text, which explains the true base, the absolute truth, conventional truth, true base, true truth. Even all the existence is into that. Everything what exists is into that. Then true path, method wisdom, path to enlightenment, method wisdom. Then true goals, what to be achieved in Dharmakaya, Rupakaya, Buddha's holy body mind. So content in that. Dharma, Tipitaka. Then including Lamdrim. Then the gradual path to enlightenment. And the text, Sangha is the ultimate Sangha and the conventional Sangha. Ultimate Sangha is even one person, ordained one or unordained lay person. And anyone who has absolute Dharma, the cessation of the obscurations, the disturbing thought obscuration, or even subtle obscuration, wisdom directly perceiving emptiness. Who has the realization, lay person or ordained person, that is absolute Sangha. The conventional Sangha is the four fully ordained monk or four fully ordained nun, living in the pure vow, and but do not have absolute realization of absolute Dharma. That's the conventional Sangha, like that. So when we take refuge, we take refuge both. So like that. Like that. Because like that. So the not only Tibetan ordination, the Tibetan, which come from India, I mean, the lineage, the ordination. Nidemi Devada Kasa, Tevichut Kasa. Nidemi Devada, Pultimate Deva. So the pen you, the Pultimate Deva, pen and Juvati, Pultimate Deva. Marve. The Hinayana, the Nidemi Deva. That's one tradition. The lineage from Tibetan, Pultimate Deva. So here, not necessarily only the Tibetan, when you say Refuge, Sangha is not necessarily only Tibetan way. It's one who wear Theravada yellow robes or red robes, or China this blue, China the blue dress. China, Sanghas from China, also yellow robes, but there's also blue robes, blue, the blue shirt and pants and blue from China, and so Sangha, that different color. And so the includes the Buddhist then like that, not only Tibetan this. When you take Refuge. So anyway, all like that. So you see like this now. when we do the prayer, due to ignorance, I haven't. Well, I think maybe I should introduce. As well, it's so important. So there's the root of oceans of samsara, root of oceans of samsara suffering. Oceans of suffering of hell, hunger, loss, animal, human beings, where all they came from. It's from the root, the ignorance. Not holding the I, what it is, not holding that way, but total opposite. What the I is, totally made up by concept, totally false, wrong. Not thinking as it is, not thinking the I as it is, no. Thinking the I completely false. Oh, that ignorance is the root, everything, all the suffering, not everything, to oceans of samsara suffering, even headache, even diarrhea. Did you have diarrhea after coming here? So even small, even toothache, whatever. So anyway, like that. So it's good to know when you have pain or something, discomfort, to think it's come from ignorance. It's very good to remember. Very good to know the original cause, where it comes from. Very good to know. Not only thinking food or weather or this, that, think very root is very helpful for the mind. So Dharma practice. So anyway, so the so first is I gave yesterday the example A, so today, and that's similar to that. So there's aggregates. There's a basis to be labeled I, aggregates. Basis to label I, aggregates. So because it exists, so thought with the labels, because of that, reason because of that, then thought with labels, thought which merely labels I, rises. So thought, then label, merely label. The valid basis there, aggregates there. So then depending on that, then thought merely label the I. Thought merely make up or label the I. Depending on the aggregate. A valid base. Not just anything, not just label I this, not like that. Valid base. Of course you label Buddha to the dog or, that happens, but in that invalid base. Suffering, aggregates the suffering. So that's not correct. So So Bali best, I guess, there. So the thought, middle levels, I. This talking about what exists. That's it, nothing else. Nothing other than that. The thought rises middle level I. That's it. Depending on that value base. You see? So subtle. Sorry, making long chanting. So unbelievable subtle, unbelievable. What is I? So unbelievable. Not I, what we usually believe. What you usually believe. Not that. Not that. What you've been believing from beginning, LZR birth. What you've been believing from beginning, from this morning, from birth, from beginning, LZR birth. Not that. Not that. That's total hallucination. Hallucination. Total hallucination. Something real I, that's total hallucination. Total false I. The real I, what we call real I, what we now believe real I, appearing real I, seeing real I, oh, total false, total false. That's total false. Have to understand. Have to understand. Have to recognize that. What really exists, I, that is this body base, I guess. Then thought rises. Being labeled, I. Extremely subtle. It exists. I exist, but what is that? It's most unbelievable, subtle. So kind of, well, the example, maybe not perfect, but you know, the scarce birds, what is it called? In the field, you make like person, huh? Scarecrow. Huh? Scarecrow, yeah, scarecrow. You make, you see, first you thought it's person. First you thought a person. Then you come nearby, then you realize it's scarecrow. So the person is it before you call person. Afterwards, then you so is that scarecrow and there's no person. Scarecrow there. But that is judged because the label is not aggregates. I mean, on which you label person, and the aggregate is not there. That's just material matter of scarecrow. So, of course, this example is not but I'm telling how subtle it is, and to get the idea. But of course, the letter is not person; it's scarecrow. You see, so you see now, person. After now you look back, before you call person, you label person. Now you see, of course this doesn't exist because there's no valid base. There's no valid aggregate. So, but you see, if you look at back, after you discover Scarecrow, then you look at back, you see what you call the person. Now you see, so, the problem is here, it doesn't have valid base. But what I'm saying is that this become so subtle, it doesn't exist, but to give an idea of the subtleness. Maybe I'm a little bit helpful, not. But however, that doesn't exist because there's a valid base. But then use, I don't know. Unbelievable subtle here, the eye, merely imputed by the mind, relating to the aggregates. I exist because the valid-based aggregates exist. That's the main reason. That exists, so the I, which is to be labeled, then it exists. But in there, is that it exists, but it's so subtle. Now try to get that idea first. That's the reality. You understand? Okay, now, so next second, so you see, it should be appeared back. After mind merely imputed, should be appeared back. Merely labeled by the mind. But that doesn't happen to us. Merely labeled by the mind. It should appear back, but that doesn't happen to us, sentient beings. That doesn't happen to us, sentient beings. And until the subtle obscuration is totally ceased, then Buddhas do not have truly existent appearance. Buddha do not have truly existent appearance. So Buddha appear merely labeled by the mind. But the Buddha appear merely labeled by the mind. But for us sentient beings, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen except when we are Arya being, exalted being, having wisdom directly perceiving emptiness, in the equipoise meditation emptiness, or except that time we don't have dualistic mind. The dualistic appearance, the truly existing appearance. Truly existing appearance we don't have that time. The mind is wisdom directly perceiving emptiness is in the equipoise meditation and the emptiness. Like that. Kind of oneness with emptiness, so in the view of that wisdom. So like that. So otherwise, then hallucination, we have truly existence, danang, truly existing from inside, existing by nature, real. Or then even bodhicitta, compassion, all this, even those realizations have hallucination. Their true existence. There's something real, appearing something real, even they have realized emptiness, and there is no belief There's no belief. It appear real, but there's no belief it's real. It's like recognize the dream is dream. When you recognize the dream is dream, that time there's appearance real, but there's no belief. You recognize the dream is dream. But when you don't recognize the dream is dream, that time then you think, you see, not only appearing real, but you believe it's real. We believe it's real. So that. So in the dream, you see, you married with somebody you really want in this life. The most thing you want to achieve to happen. Dream, you see, to live with that person. That person become wife or become husband or something. Then you dreamt, you married, and you had 100 children. Anyway, joking, 100 children. So anyway, so let's say you had children, married, all that, even had children, and all that. Then kind of, well, put this way, mind is kind of, I don't know, how to say, very satisfied or very happy, sort of. Then when you, then when you woke up, then so sad. You didn't get married, you didn't have the person, you didn't have children. So sad. So that's because in the dream you believe it's real. You see? So you didn't see dream is dream. So like that. Okay, yeah. This is So, okay. You see, you came through the sand, where there used to be water. So there's no water at all. You just came from there, just sand. Then sunlight, sun rays hit. Sun rays hit. So you see, so you came from there. Now you look back, you see, as if there's water, but you know completely there's no water at all. You just come from there, but you have vision of water. You see, you have vision of water, but you know that's completely false because you came from just there, but there's no water at all. Like that. So. Like that how's that? Take a side. Not only that, not only that, but is the middle level, should appear back to you, middle level eye. Eye is middle leveled, just before, second before, the next second, the eye should appear back, middle level. Oh, so that's only happened to Buddha. This is just general, without debating. But it doesn't happen to us. So when the eye appear back, truly existing from its own side, existing from its side, existing by its nature, existing real. So putting in the ordinary term, real eye, appear back, real eye. Real means from its own side, appearing, not appearing from your, from your mind, but appearing from there, from object side, appearing from object side. All the real. So you see real eye. So you see, so what appears, what exists is before merely imputed. That's the reality. That's the reality. Now the appearance is real. Before not real. Now here real. Now those two opposites. So those two opposites, the reality and what appears to you is the opposite. That's the definition of false. That's the definition of false. That's the false view. So you see, false eye appeared, false eye. All like that. False eye. You see, false eye. This false eye never happened. Hallucination. This never happened since from this morning. Never happened since from birth. Never happened even for 1 second. Never happened in reality. Never happened from beginningless birth up to now. Never happened. If for even 1 second. Never happened. Never came in reality. It's only your mind hallucination. Your mind hallucination. Never happened in reality, even for 1 second. And it will never happen again. Oh, not that. You see, so now the next second, so there's appearance, false eye, real eye, which is totally false. So next second, then you start to believe. This is real. This is true. You see, we should think it's false. Day and night, all the time, mindfulness in that. This is false. So that's the meditation. What should have? False. day and night. Mindfulness is the best meditation, most powerful meditation. But not that. Believing is false. Believing is true, real. So according to what appear real, according to that, then you believe is real. So holding on that, just holding on that, believing this subtle wrong concept, this belief that is true. That is in the ignorance, that particular ignorance. That's the king of the delusion. That's the king of the delusion. That is the root of all the oceans of human suffering, oceans of helping suffering, hell, anger, animal, sura, asura, intimate stages. As I said before, suffering, rebirth, old age, sickness and death. So what I was saying was trying to cover you are experiencing suffering of old age continuously, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. But in the West, trying to cover, trying to bury that by doing operation. The ordinary, the gross old age signs, wrinkles, all the things. You try to stretch out, whatever. So anyway. But you can't stop. So far, scientists haven't stopped that, haven't unable to stop the death. So far, haven't unable to stop death. So to stop the death, you have to stop the delusion, karma, the cause which is not outside, inside the mind. And so the mental thing, delusion, karma, scientists have stopped that. But scientists doesn't know about that. Scientists have no idea about that, about the mind. That causes death, no idea. So then to see that, you have to learn. To see that, you have to learn at least, not Mahayana, but Hinayana teaching, Lesbian teaching. You have to learn Four Noble Truths. You have to learn. You have to learn that whole path. You have to learn to gradually cease the seed of delusion karma. So you have to learn. So you have to learn that there is no other way. There is no other way. No other way. So that. So you see, so that is that tiny concept. That tiny concept. Believe that's real. That is root of all the suffering, pain, suffering, change, all the samsara pleasure. I told you, because nature is the suffering, so that it doesn't last, doesn't continue, or doesn't last, and it does not increase. It was Dharma happiness, you can continue, you can increase, you can complete. All like that, beautiful. So at one time, but this is samsara pleasure. We have been trying to get satisfaction by experiencing samsara pleasure from beginningless rebirth, but we didn't get satisfaction. All that. So that there's no suffering we do not experience. There's no pleasure we do not experience. There's no pleasure. Nothing new. Nothing is new. So that. So. So the so that I stop here. Then finish the taking refuge bodhicitta. So the but I won't have to finish this one. So the you see. So from the ignorance, and then you see ignorance, and then the attachment, the anger, the other types of ignorance, or then the unknown mind, or those rises, and the motivated karma. Motivated karma. So motivated karma. Karmic formation, digile. So then the kasa, then they like the past of this 12 link relative with this human body, and then you see practice morality, you see practice virtue, dharma, practice morality, so like that. So that could be also with the attachment, future life samsara, attachment, you know, not the attachment of that life, but future life, also possible of that. So then you see left the coming imprint on the mind. Then you see the consciousness, the sixth consciousness that migrate, that has been migrating from beginner's rebirth on that coming imprint. Then the concern. Then when you get reborn, that time then the I'm talking about the 12 link of this life. Then name and form. All the mental part, the name, and the physical part is form. So name and form. Then Then after that, six sense basis. After that comes the six sense basis, and then the contact. Contact, then feeling. Then after that comes craving and grasping. So all this happened. In the womb and outside. So happened already, and then craving, grasping. So craving, craving the attachment, craving, wishing to have. So craving, grasping is actually taking it. So much stronger attachment, grasping. Actually getting it. So when you go shopping, first wishing, then you actually decide to get it, you know, then getting also that. So the then the coming imprint, that so craving, grasping, the coming imprint left on the consciousness before, and then consciousness before. Then that made stronger. Procrastinated, stronger. They're ready to throw future result, future rebirth, the becoming. So made stronger by craving, grasping. The coming imprint left in the conscience, sixth conscience. So there's a rebirth happened. Rebirth already happened. So now rebirth already happened. the ordinary signs of old age is happening. And then after the birth, actually the old started after the birth, then the 2-second or 3-second old, like that after birth. So what's left now to experience as the suffering of death. So that's what's left now from the 12 dependent related limb of this present human life. So like this, death time, craving, grasping, and the coming imprint what's left before, and the sixth consciousness, then that goes to life, and then the craving, grasping, meditate, procrastinated, they becoming, and then that produce future life. Suffering of both. So that so Nagarjuna said Dungon sumo lenye so shijin teshin doing. So kasa nyomo sumo lenye so shijin teshin doing. So 3 delusions. First ignorance, then craving, grasping. So 3 actions. So the motivated by karmic formation, the jile, motivated by ignorance, that then becoming. After craving, then becoming. 3 delusions, 2 actions. Nyamos or lineage, she didn't. Then 7 result. Except that we already experienced 7 result. Teaching doing the result. Doing. So now here during this human while we experience 7 result, this human we experience human body now. So during this time, again, each day, each hour, each minute, we start with ignorance. With ignorance, the cause of samsara, the ignorance I already explained before, that's such a wrong concept. Then from there, attachment or ignorance or anger, then whatever the karma, create karma, leaves plant seed on the consciousness. So you see, not only every day, but every hour, every minute. So that. So even seconds. So you see, so we start troubling, 12 dependent little limb. Start so many, even one day, even 1 hour, minute. So much we start troubling. Evolution is the evolution of the samsara, the whichever birth you take. The past finished, but the future, numberless. We done already, started already, which we haven't experienced. So each one is like prison. Each one is like prison. Each troubling is like prison. We're caught in prison. So we are in kind of a numberless. We're caught in numberless prison. So prison to prison. One we free from another person, then outside another person. You free from that, then you finish that, then outside another prison. You're caught. So it's like the numberless. like that. So therefore, so important. So my chanting, so so important. You see every day. So therefore, to learn emptiness, to learn there's nothing else, to cut the root of samsara directly, not even bodhicitta, not even tangdriyasa. Oh, you have to learn emptiness. Shunyata, tongma. So then you have to meditate in the daily life. Practice mindfulness in daily life. Then you see, realize emptiness. Then develop insight, special insight. Then wisdom directly perceive emptiness. Then you can see it. Then you can be free from all this numberless prison of samsara. Like that. So the meditation, they understand, studying emptiness, emptiness only. Shunyata, so humble, so important. I think then even you have little understanding, but the mindfulness, meditation, mindfulness every life, session, or even during while your life is busy, mindfulness in that. Mindfulness empty, or mindfulness as a subtle dependent arising. Subtle dependent arising. I explained about I. Or subtle dependent arising. Practice mindfulness and that. Or mindfulness on the looking at the dream as a dream. Mindfulness, looking at the dream as a dream. When the dream comes, look at the dream as a dream. So you look at the hallucination. All this came from, I told you yesterday, how everything came from your mind. What do you see here? I told you, difference from Preta and the human beings here, and there was self-dimension. Yes, incredible, beautiful. So, different view here, what do you see here? So, I said yesterday, how everything came from the mind. Okay? So now, on that basis, so you see now, this everything appears real. I told you about the I. So now, not only I get all the object of eye, ear, form, sound, smell, taste, sense, everything appears real. Look at the paintings here, real, light, real, white light, real, everything real, everything from its own side. You look at me, real, from its own side. I look at you, real from its side. So all hallucination. All hallucination. All the words appearing, all total hallucination. So hallucinate I, going to dining room, eating hallucinate food, going to hallucinate kitchen, eating hallucinate food, doing hallucinate caca. So everything like this. Going in the hallucinated car, going hallucinated shop, paying hallucinated money, real money, and getting hallucinated material, whatever, everything like that. So that is a very good meditation, mindfulness. So looking at the dream as a dream, so you look at here, look at all this hallucination. As I described about the I, so everything like this. So instead of looking at real, believing real, you look at the hallucination. You think of the example that I explained to you. Everything is a hallucination. Everything is total. Everything is total. So you see, so the not realize, not recognize this hallucination, then as starting the eye, then the person with power. Then you see you kill something, people say something, people do something you don't like, kill them. Then like the country Sar, no, what is it called? Seri. Oh, that 100,000 because people get killed. So much problem, so much suffering in the world. So by religion, by so you know, putting in prison on the killing, so much negative karma, so much create, so much negative karma due to this wrong concept, ignorance, adventure, create so much negative karma, heavy negative karma. Then you have to suffer the suffering result in the sixth realm, in the lower realm, hell realm, particularly for eons. So that's a totally object of compassion. You know, the world, what's happening in the world. So people, what they do, due to ignorance. So now you can see very clear, due to ignorance, all this, what's happening, the global suffering and all the country, society, individual. So therefore the meditation, the learning emptiness, learning as much as one can, then meditation is very important to realize. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, if I to finish this in the Refuge Buddhism, then yeah, I'll begin tomorrow breakfast. You think so? Changjo Semjo Rinpoche, Maje Wana, Keba Nyamba, Maba, Kanji Rabe Kure Shingang, Deva Maru. Tony Ninja Sundu, Chaja Sanga Kante, Yo como le